Hello, it's Matt and Josh from Yousellcomics. Back this week, we've gained a co-host. We had 0 co-hosts last week, but this week now we have 2. Joining us today is Steve from Cyberspace Comics. Been in the industry a long time. It's an encyclopedia of errors of Marvel comics. Yeah, so this week, some news on Jonathan Majors, some Alex Ross tribute art from X-Men coming out, George Perez variant covers, etc., etc. Josh is fixing his light bar.
Yeah, sorry. There was I had a light dildo action going on, but now it's just a light bar, so we're okay.
Is it an actual dildo?
No, it's not a light up dildo. I'm not that hurting for gear.
Okay. Do you want to do the thing?
It would be my pleasure. Yousellcomics is your new multi-vendor marketplace for selling comics, slabs, omnis, trades, and more. Sell it for as low as $5.99 a month. Run your own auctions for $15.99 a month, or a new 5% commission for unlimited listings. Pay what you sell. Sign up for a free month, free trial at Yousellcomics.com. And of course, that's who's sponsoring us with this lovely video today, and always, I would say.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Okay, so Marvel Studios has come out and said there's going to be less shows coming out. Marvel Studios 2023 Disney Plus slate has been narrowed, with some shows pushing into 2024 or beyond. More big changes appear to be on the horizon for the MCU slate in 2023, with a number of Disney Plus TV shows expected to be pushed into 2024 and beyond. We kind of heard this once Bob Iger took over, that they were going to, and Kevin Feige said it was going to be more quality over quantity. As things stand now, this year, we think, well, we just got a release date for Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2, What If Season 2, Ironheart, Echo, Agatha Covenant of Chaos, and X-Men 97. However, 3 months into the year, none of them have had a premiere date. A move suggests there's no way for all of these shows to stream within the next 9 months. Now it's been confirmed by Variety in their report about Victoria Alonso's shock firing. She was tasked with overseeing visual effects and post-production on all MCU projects. As the pressure has mounted, it seems the way she conducted herself was deemed unacceptable by Disney. Insiders say 5 Disney Plus series from Marvel Studios that had been scheduled to debut in 2023 have been narrowed down to 3 or 4, with the others moving into 2024 and possibly beyond. That will take some of the immediate pressure off Marvel's post-production pipeline. Also, Daredevil Born Again is filming now. Not sure what other shows are currently filming. However, Steve would know this. So when a show gets announced, like, what's the spec? How does the spec go for people buying to read the stories versus, like, so if it's right away, if it's in the middle, if it's like the show's coming out and it peaks, like, where's the peak in the valleys?
I think it's really just where's the attention brought. So obviously when it's first announced, people rush in to scoop it up. And then it just, like, gets real quiet again. And then once they're like, oh, you know, casting announcements are involved, which obviously with Daredevil it's not necessarily the case because we already know who Daredevil's going to be. But, you know, if they announce some other characters that are going to be in there, and those books start to catch heat. And then obviously you start to see trailers or announcements and stuff like that. And so just, you know, people have real short memories. So, like, they're always on to the next thing as soon as there's another article out there. So you really got to catch that spec as soon as people start chattering about it.
Do you see a drop if it's terrible? Like, if the show comes out and People are like, it's a
so
great
once
show,
the
and then people
show-
buy more. And if it's
Once the show is out, they're already on to the next. The specters are already on to the next thing.
so they've already sold by
People
then.
will want to read the original material. So I guess if it's good, it might encourage them to read it more than if it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not really driving pricing to the roof.
Okay. Speaking of spec, so oddly enough, so Witches got optioned by Amazon, a Scott Snyder series. Weirdly enough, I just happened to pick up this book like 2 months or a month before it got optioned. I just saw it in my local shop and I'm like, oh, Scott Snyder, Witches #1. It was like $4. I'm like, oh, I'll just grab it. And then a month later, it got picked up. So I guess I'm lucky that way. So we got an update on this. It's creeping up on 2 months since we learned that Amazon had ordered an adaptation of writer Scott Snyder and artist Jock's Image Comics comic book series Witches. And now we're getting a key update from none other than the project's executive producer and showrunner Snyder. The first 2 tweets, Snyder offers fans the heads up that the writer's room will officially open in 11 days. Following that, Snyder reassured a fan who was concerned about Snyder being heavily involved enough in the adaptation with a reminder of just how heavily involved he is. I'm show running it, so wish me luck. With Snyder and Jock, executive producer, alongside Plan B Entertainment, Project 51 Productions, Kevin Cold, Amazon Studios. The series tells the story of a 17-year-old sailor Rooks who moves with their family to a remote New England town after a tragic accident. Once there, they discover that a burrow of monsters, ancient creatures that prey on our darkest fears and desires is lurking beneath the town. So this went from October 24th to March 25th, and it's a 6-issue series. It was originally set up for a film adaptation until the shift to television was announced in 2021. I haven't read the first issue, but has anyone in this chat read Witches?
Unfortunately,
I've read the whole series.
Okay.
Oh,
To me, horror always kind of falls flat in the comics medium. So I'm not super into it.
okay.
But this is also interesting because this was optioned back in like 2014. You could find news on it being optioned.
Oh, as a movie.
So that whatever that was, that fell through. So that's, to me, it's always curious when it gets so far into so far, and then it just falls by the wayside. But
right.
I guess eventually it does get made. Look at Sandman. Sandman was optioned many times.
Yeah.
That's true.
So if it's only 6 issues, though, it can only really be a mini series, right? Or does that end of the book lead to?
There's a one shot afterwards. There might be some other stuff, like little one shot stories here or there in some anthologies, I think.
Okay.
But they're gonna probably be. There's not much to pull from. We'll put it that way.
Oh.
Okay.
But there was a Halloween one shot, like 4 years after the first series came out.
Okay. Are you a fan of Scott Snyder stuff generally?
He's a DC guy usually, and I'm not a fan of DC, so I don't know that I've read any of his other stuff.
Just no DC or main characters?
Well, I like the stranger side of DC, so I do like some Swamp Thing or Doom Patrol type stuff is entertaining. But it's tough to stay up with just Marvel, so to expand into a whole other mainstream DC superhero universe would just be way too much to keep up with. So no, I have not. I'm doing a search right now to see if there's anything from Scott Snyder in Marvel that I've read.
Which is #1 is going for $40 on eBay right now in a 9.8. The whole set's going for $29, so I guess you can pick it up pretty cheap right now.
I think honestly the first time he got optioned, people scooped up what they wanted to as far as spec goes, so they probably...
This is probably what they got, or what they snagged.
They're probably not rushing out to scoop it up again. We'll put it that way.
Okay. Okay, so some comic book news. Marvel pays tribute to George Perez with new variant covers. We lost George Perez last year to pancreatic cancer. I believe. Ever since his passing last year, the comic industry has been sharing an outpouring of love for legendary writer and artist George Perez. Looks like a new string of Marvel comic variant covers will be continuing that trend, spotlighting some of Perez's art pieces. On Thursday, Marvel revealed the first look at several of these variant covers, which will be publishing in June and July of this year. The covers are a partnership between Marvel and Perez's estate and will showcase a collection of rare drawings which have been beautifully restored, colored, and showcased on the covers of select Marvel releases. These covers spotlight George's legendary depictions of Marvel's greatest heroes, giving fans an opportunity to reflect on his groundbreaking work on the genre. So it's going to be some Fantastic Four, some Avengers, Scarlet Witch, Incredible Hulk, and a to-be-announced variant in July. Here are some of the variants. Miss Marvel, Scarlet Witch, Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, that Hulk one is good.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that one's pretty good too.
Vision. That's Avengers #2 variant. Yeah, so those will be.
It makes me wonder, like, what is this art? Like, is this just hanging out in a drawer somewhere? Is this pulled from previously published stuff?
I feel like it is. Like, it's just sorry, not shit. It's just drawing sketches. Oh, man, I'm worried that, like, obviously they weren't finished. Probably, right? So they probably just pulled a couple out, and they're probably just like, yeah, just bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, here it is. Like, it's already done. Or they had someone, commissioned to do it.
Maybe the Scarlet Witch one. Well, that one's signed, so maybe that one's. Well, most of them seem signed. I don't know that.
It says 77 on it. I'm wondering if that's from something that was published already.
Interesting.
Yeah, this one says 09. I don't see a signature on this one.
Very interesting.
To me, it almost looks like something that was in some fanzines back in the day, like.
Yes.
Well, that one's at 79. That one's pretty old.
Comic Reader, that type of thing.
That he may have sent into those.
Those magazines, they hired artists to do covers or back covers, and
interesting.
It looks like it might be something like that.
Okay.
Especially if it's going back that far, 77, 79. That's,
yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so those are in stores June and to be announced in July. So we don't know which covers are coming out in July, but there'll be 2 more at the beginning of July. Okay, I think everyone loves Alex Ross's covers and art. I'm a fan of his timeless covers. And then there's the iconic Jim Lee's gatefold for the reissue of X-Men when they restarted X-Men in 1991, X-Men's #1. It's now a focus of a new variant cover by legendary artist Alex Ross. 2023 marks the 60th anniversary of Avengers and X-Men, and Marvel is celebrating with new titles, collections, and more for fans. One of those items is a series of connecting variant covers by Ross. Comicbook.com exclusively revealed Alex Ross's Avengers and X-Men 60th anniversary variant covers in February. They were previewed at Comics Pro Retailer Conference. Now both pieces of artwork are revealed in their full glory. So this is obviously very reminiscent of the Jim Lee first one that had they were all split.
Yeah.
And then the Avengers one, which is coming in for Uncanny Avengers, which returns in August.
Oh wow.
Is there a number for how many of those X-Men Jim Lee were sold at the time it came out? Millions and millions of copies.
Millions.
Right? Like I think I bought a pack off a guy for like all 5 of them for like $10.
You know what though? Like that,
but
they are doing better now though.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's some demand for them these days, that's a good thing.
Yep. And and this the covers look really cool. So I mean, Alex Ross. I mean, I'm a fan of Alex Ross. I don't know about you guys, but
all right, 8 million, over 8 million copies.
Wow.
To me, it's amazing that anybody wants to buy them at all anymore. That many in circulation.
And they're still
for them to be selling on eBay still or other marketplaces. It's like who doesn't have this in the dollar bin?
Yeah, everyone who collects comics should have at least one copy somewhere, right?
Is that
but like every local comic store should be littered with them. You would think.
Littered.
I noticed especially the X-Force #1. I see those all the time, still polybagged.
Yes.
With the
that's 5 million unofficial.
Oh really?
Wow. Run. Yeah.
Still polybagged too, with the card or whatever. Although I think wasn't there a version that came with a Deadpool card that kind of got hot for a while?
Yep. Yeah, during lockdown, it was going for some silly money.
Silly money.
Wow.
Monopoly money.
Yeah,
like $50 per book with the Deadpool.
Wow.
So weird. Just like it was, and it's just because of the cards in it, right?
Yeah, I think what happened was like a graded 10 Deadpool card sold for like an absurd amount of money, and then
and everyone wanted to spec on the card.
Yeah. Yep.
Where are you on grading? For it, against it? I know some people are against it and like prefer the books should be open to be read and enjoyed, and other people are like, well, I like to preserve the things I like.
My personal collection is mostly ungraded because I like to read them, but I see some benefits in preserving, especially the older books. Like these are like historical artifacts, a lot of these now, some of the key books. So it's cool to see some type of preservation method being put in place, and especially since we have all these facsimiles and omnibus and trade paperbacks, like those original key books, you can still read them in a different format and then still keep that original one preserved. So I see some benefits to it. Paying crazy prices for a 9.8 when there's a 9.6 out there for 50% less. Seems a little crazy, but again, it's investors, it's people looking for the best copy they can get their hands on. So I understand the pricing difference. So I'm not super excited about it, but I'm also not one of those people that are like, why would you entomb a comic book?
Sammy from the chat says I probably have about 20th X-Men, one from 1992, only one graded at 9.8, and I have a bit of X-Force and 2 of them with a Deadpool card in it. Oh, Sammy, you're rich with those 2 Deadpool cards, I guess.
Piping rich.
At least in 2021.
I have I don't know. Most of my collection is raw, but I don't have a lot of older stuff. I got obviously a lot of the comics I had as a kid somehow disappeared when in the number of moving when I was a kid, and my mom might have sold some stuff at a garage sale. But so I don't really have a lot of older stuff from when I was a kid. So I've been recollecting that stuff. I have some stuff that's graded that mostly I will buy stuff of my favorite character, like Omega Red or Apocalypse or like Grand Animal Thrawn. I have that stuff graded, but the rest of the stuff it's not.
Did you just say all your favorite characters are villains?
Well, yeah. So like the ones I have on the wall displayed are like I actually prefer. So I have X-Men 4 and 5, but I prefer 5's cover to 4.
It's a much better Omega Red cover.
Yeah. So I have that one graded, and it's not a 9.8. It's just for display. It's a 9.4. It's not like the difference between a 9.8 and 9.4. A 9. As long as it looks nice for a display, I'm like I don't have to have 9.8s and everything that I. Yeah. So
hey, if you do see those X-Force ones polybagged still out there, look for ones that have multiple cards in them, like it's an error.
Oh, really?
Because those will bring a premium price.
Okay.
Oh, good tip. Good tip for the chat.
Yeah, once in a while they let slip, and there's there's always like a promo card in there that's like t-shirts or something like that, and then there's the character card. But once in a while you'll see that there's like 2 character cards in there, which was not supposed to happen, and they can. My last one sold around $70 or $80, so it's
definitely don't open the bag either to see what they are.
Do not open it.
Okay. More X-Men. X-Men Invincible Iron Man crossover introduces Stark Sentinels. Could we see them in the MCU? As Marvel Comics continues to lay the groundwork for upcoming Fall of X event, new details and artwork have been revealed, showcasing the formidable Stark Sentinels that will soon take aim at the X-Men. Marvel Comics event Fall of X is coming, and as the X-Men brace themselves for the dark road ahead, they'll also find strength in Mutantkind's unexpected new ally, Iron Man. Writer Jerry Duggan, who is currently in charge of both X-Men and Invincible Iron Man ongoing titles, will weave together and feature essential stories in both titles that promise to impact the X-Men's upcoming status quo. Things have already been set in motion as Fei Long, the mutant-hating industrialist from Duggan's X-Men, is now in control of Stark Unlimited's incredible resources and plans to use them in Orchis' vicious war against mutants. As events escalate, will Tony step up to become one of Mutantkind's greatest defenders, or will he join them in the bleak world that awaits them? So we have some cover art here for the new crossover. With the Sentinels are quite large. I didn't think they would be. I understand that X-Men Sentinels are big, but I didn't know that Tony Stark's Sentinels were going to be that big. I
also huge.
Just smaller replicas of Sentinels, but
Sammy says he's got some of those Deadpool cards. Deadpool's with the cards in it with the multiple ones.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
It's a good story.
That's a great cover.
Yeah, with him making the Iron Man suit again.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's kind of like the Hulk.
I'm sure there's been an alternate reality where that has happened before, and some dude is going to stumble across that book and be like, this is the true first appearance of the Stark Sentinels. That'd be in like What If or something like that. Maybe even Age of Apocalypse.
Ooh. Do you as a personal collector follow spec as well, or just as a seller of comics? Because you're...
No, just as a seller. My personal collection is just I'm trying to read every Marvel comic or Marvel Universe comic.
Right.
So
nice.
The speculation has no bearing on that. I just want to read it.
Nice.
So you're less so as a personal collector, you're less about keys and more about collecting a run.
Oh yeah, to me, it doesn't matter that it's a key or not. It's just I just want to read it, and I want it in my collection as part of that run. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So this comes out in... Is it Fall of X coming out in fall? Did it say? Did I read it and pass it when this is coming out?
You may have.
It just says it's coming. So... Okay, it's coming.
It says that it's coming alongside the Free Comic Book Day, which would be May.
Oh, okay.
And then it's saying in Invincible Iron Man 7, and I was just making a listing for Invincible Iron Man 3, so that would be 4 months from now. So that would be like July-ish. Okay. No, probably June. Yeah, May and June I'd say it's going to be running.
I've been reading the Invincible Iron Man. The first, I think there's 3 issues out. It's been alright so far. I haven't read previous Iron Man stuff the last couple of years, so I don't. It kind of picks up in the middle where he has lost his company, kind of. So, kind of catching back up. But so far, it's been alright.
Again?
Yes, again. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do top 10 and keys of the week.
Woo! Keys of the week. Your top 10.
Okay, so this week we have... What is that cover? That looks like looks like the Motley Crue smoking in the boys' room. Deceased War of the Undead Gods. Oh, it's the Purple Rain cover. Sorry, I was going to
say it kind of looks like Purple Rain.
It was Prince. So that's in the top 10. Funny. Deceased War of the Undead Gods Prince variant. We have No One, which I think is also... Is this also Snyder? No. I don't know. That's a new one. Came out last week, I think. Number 1. Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man is still in the top 10. It's been in the top 10 for the last 6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Same with this image. Cover of Bo-Katan on the 50th anniversary of Dr. Aphra, number 19. So Christopher Sprouse did a bunch for the 50th Lucasfilm anniversary, and now he's also doing Currently, there's the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi covers now.
Holy fuck.
We also have the first appearance of Mr. Sinister. I also like Mr. Sinister, but I don't like that cover, so I've never bothered to get that issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really bad cover
right?
for first appearance. Yeah.
I wish it would have been a better cover, and I probably would have purchased it by now. Daredevil versus Punisher. We know that John Bernthal is back as Punisher, so that's still in the top 10. First appearance of Lobo. I guess Jason Momoa is going to switch over to Lobo. I guess that's a speculation.
Yeah, no really news there, I don't think, anyway.
Berserker #1 is back in the top 10. Keanu Reeves has been doing press for John Wick. And I've been asking about Berserker because that's at Netflix. Whether he's going to direct or act or, what's his role in it. I think it's there's an anime show coming and a movie.
Wow.
So Netflix is heavy on Berserker.
So here's the thing on that Omega Men. Omega Men 2 has one of those coming next issue boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows the cover art to Omega Men 3.
Oh.
And I know there's a lot of people that look for spec that predates, actual first appearances. So that would be one of those ones to keep a lookout for.
1983.
Okay.
Also, that Deadly Spider-Man book.
Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man, yes.
Deadly Neighborhood. That's written by the dude from Black Eyed Peas, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, stuff like that has really strong appeal for online marketing. So, when you post your books to places like Amazon, where there's people that like things that are not comic books.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They will stumble across that, and they're like, oh, I didn't even know that,
Yeah.
the musician I liked wrote this comic. So it has a really strong appeal when you're on broader marketplaces that sell everything.
I got you. That's cool.
Nice. What's this last one here?
Yeah,
So
something.
DC something. Oh, Milestone 30th Anniversary Special. Which I think also came out last week. Okay. Anything else to talk about there? No. Okay, so that was your top 10 marketplace. Keys of the Week in stores today and tomorrow. Venom Lethal Protector 2 #1, covered by Alex Ross. He's also doing, currently his Timeless Villains variants are coming out last month and this month. Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Jabba's Palace #1. First appearance of Sylvan Khan, a mysterious antagonist plotting to overthrow Jabba. Ambassadors #1, ordinary people from around the world present their case for why they should be one of the 6 chosen to receive superpowers. Dungeons and Dragons Sunday Morning Adventures #1, comic book inspired by the animated series from 1983. I think we just got news today that Joe Manganiello is doing a Dungeons and Dragons TV series.
series.
Yeah, he's adapting a novel, I think, or a series of novels from Dungeons and Dragons.
Is he the one that's in charge of the famous D&D?
Oh, he's very much into that.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
James
yeah.
Gunn and the guys from Game of Thrones. Yeah. I'm super excited that the movie that's coming out this week, it's getting really good reviews. So, because the last time was 10 years ago, and it was terrible.
Oh, the new one. Yeah. It's getting great reviews.
Yeah, the new one is.
Yeah.
Granite State Punk, freshly released from prison, a man returns to his deceased parents' home to find it filled with memories of the occult, punk rock, dark magic, and its connection to New Hampshire's most historic landmark, the Old Man of the Mountain. New Hampshire's a weird place to set a comic book, I guess, but Indigo Children #1, a journalist hunts down the extraordinarily gifted Indigo Children after their mysterious disappearances 15 years ago. Action Comics number 1053, first appearance of the Necro Hive.
Whoa.
Detective Comics 1070, new creative team begins. Unstoppable Doom Patrol #1, first appearance of Beast Girl, has the ability to affect mood. Debut of new Crazy Jane personalities.
Oh.
Steve, did you like the show? Did you
I
watch
was
the show?
just about to ask this. I was so curious.
It was okay. It's okay. I haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
Okay. So Unstoppable Doom Patrol will be something you pick up then?
I will give it a shot.
Waller versus
Doom
Waller.
Patrol has been hit or miss. So I did not really enjoy the Young Animal imprint stuff.
Okay.
I did love the Grant Morrison stuff. I like the Arcudi stuff as well. So yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Waller versus Wildstorm #1, 4-issue limited series that takes place in the 1980s. Amazing Spider-Man 21 convention exclusive, Lexington Comic Con exclusive, March 28th. Avengers Beyond #1, first full appearance of the Lost One, an entity more powerful than the Beyonders.
Jesus.
Clobber in Time #1, first appearance of Ogdu Phrase, the Psychopomp. It's Jeff #1.
It's Jeff.
It's Jeff. One-shot collection of the digitally released series plus a new story. Venom Lethal Protector 2 #1. Oh, this is just the A cover. 5-issue limited series that returns Eddie and the Symbiote's Violet Past. X-Men Unforgiven #1, one-shot crossover with X-Men Unforgiven and Spider-Man Unforgiven in a vampire story trilogy.
Whoa.
There's not, like, besides Jabba's Palace, like, I'll mostly always pick up Star Wars stuff, but maybe Ambassadors is something I would pick up.
Yeah. Indigo Children's looks alright too.
Oh, yeah.
That Venom cover looks cool.
Yeah.
The Ross one.
The A cover or this one?
The Ross variant.
Oh,
looks
yeah,
really
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And then obviously Clobber in Time, that's gonna be hard to pass up that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been reading the new Fantastic Four series?
No.
Okay.
I don't. So I like to binge read, and I will try to complete a series first before I dive into it. So
Right.
I will be reading the previous Fantastic Four series very soon. But this one I won't read until it's over with.
Until it's done. Okay.
Yeah. Who knows when that'll be?
Yeah. Okay. So, that was all the way at the top. News this week that Kang, Jonathan Majors plays Kang, is in some trouble.
Spice. Spicy.
I don't think it's for anyone to pass judgment yet. Let's leave that up to the courts. However, he had an incident with a female, and I guess the law in New York is whenever it's domestic violence, to take it out of the female's hands, they always arrest the accused just because.
I guess.
His lawyer has said that he is completely innocent, and there's witnesses and a video. He was also the one that called 911 when their argument was going on. So aside from that, this kind of puts like a major stop in what Disney's doing right now. Like, if they're gonna wait for,
It's not like they have two giant Avengers movies planned around this guy.
Yeah. Like, just, oh man. Yeah.
like, Disney does not like controversy with their actors, and I was saying to my wife Kate, after we saw John Wick, they should just cast Keanu Reeves and everything, because he's not gonna ever have scandal. But
True.
yeah, this puts kind of like they kind of have to wait until see this resolves, and then find someone really quick to take over, or because
If they do, though, it's a really easy fix because they're all just variants, so they can look like who knows. It doesn't matter what they look like.
Yeah.
So they got that going for them.
Yeah. So that's close. That's that's probably their luckiest break, I would say. And I would agree with Matt that Disney does not like when their actors and actresses have any scandals whatsoever. So I think because of the weight that he's carrying in Marvel right now, I feel like they're going to give him like a week Like, this is Tuesday. I think we've got like another. I think he's gonna get the rest of the week and the weekend. And if something doesn't come out that completely exonerates him of everything that he's been accused of, even though the woman rescinded her statement, right?
Yeah, there was conflicting
retorted
reports whether she recanted or. But
canted.
then also the DA like.
When I say
added charges
rescinded,
the following day,
the river. Okay,
like it's not for us to decide. It's fun to speculate what Marvel's going to do for a recast. That's why I brought this up. So if he's out, who do we want to see play Kang?
I mean, I thought it was really funny. Somebody brought up the idea of all of a sudden, instead of Jonathan Majors, it's just Terrence Howard, and he just pops up and he's like, "Hey, it's me," and you can't say anything.
Next time, baby.
Steve, you have an idea of who you want to play?
I was volunteering. I'll take that paycheck.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So I just found this randomly of like people who could play who replace Kang. Have you Bardem a suggestion?
I don't know.
He's very good as a villain. Like his
Oh yeah, no, very good, but
for Old Men character is chilling. John David Washington, I don't know. Not sure he has the range. Like I like him as an actor, but I'm not sure he has the range.
Agreed.
Giancarlo Esposito. He could play anything in the MCU, but I feel like they should save him for something else.
Yeah.
John Boyega. I think he's too visible from Star Wars.
Unfortunately.
And Lakeith Stanfield. He'd be a good choice too. He has played some weird characters before.
Yeah, he's good.
He also worked with Jonathan Majors in Harder They Fall.
True.
So maybe there's that connection. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. They have two major movies booked around him. His character's supposed to be interwoven throughout the entire next phase.
Yeah.
And I think
it's gonna get swept under the rug.
You do.
I think it might also happen. I think I'm like 70. I'm like 70-30. It gets pushed away versus them having to address it and then him getting switched out. I think that's where we're at right now. About a 70-30 split.
So he's in Loki season 2, which comes out this year. They can't. I mean, there's nothing they can do about that. So you feel like they just lay low until that season comes out. Everyone remembers that he's a great actor and that he's great as Kang, and they're like, it's fine.
Well, look, dude, like Ezra Miller's movie's still coming out, so like he's got a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah, I feel like he got convicted after it was shot though, which is the weird thing, right? Like, yeah, I understand WB not wanting to waste $200 million in a movie on an actor they're never going to use again. But they want to use Majors again, so I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a really tough, like, an interesting situation.
Do we think though? Like, do you think WB is gonna keep Miller as Flash after this? Like,
no,
not a
but
chance.
I'm saying, like, yeah, they'll definitely release whatever he shot already.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we got a premiere date for Secret Invasion. The first Marvel show of the year, right? We haven't had one yet, right? Last one was She-Hulk and Werewolf by Night. Yeah.
Yes.
So at least 3 MCU shows are expected to debut on Disney Plus this year, but now dates have been revealed. No dates have been revealed until now. Though no official announcements have been made, Disney Plus listing for Secret Invasion says it will premiere June 21st, 2023.
Ooh.
We still don't have a detailed plot synopsis, but the accompanying description tells us that we will follow Nick Fury and Talos as they fight against a Skrull faction who have infiltrated the Earth for years. Samuel Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn will reprise their roles as Fury and Talos, respectively. They'll be joined by Olivia Colman. Oh, Olivia Colman's in this? That's awesome.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh?
In the incarnation of Union Jack. Okay, that's so weird. Amelia Clark, who may or may not be portraying Abigail Brand. Her spec, I think, went a little crazy. I think it's Astonishing X-Men number 3 is her first appearance.
Yep.
Steve's like, yeah.
Oh, he just knows. Is
Yeah,
it
he's
three?
like, he knows, like-
Is it 3 or 6?
Well, I'm just saying which ones heated up. Like,
Oh.
both of them were taken off.
Oh, so that one's a cameo? Am I not signed in? Oh, I'm not signed in now. Okay.
Classic.
Anyways, yeah, 3 and 6. This one says cameo. This one says first appearance.
Okay.
What was 6 then? 6 has the cover of Colossus on it. Apparently this one also says the first appearance of Abigail Brand. So I guess 3 is the cameo and 6 is the appearance. I guess since I don't know, when you're specking for sales, do you pick both up just in case? Because like, who decides what's a cameo and what's I mean, there was always that controversy about Wolverine.
I'll just increase the price on both copies because that's what people are talking about.
Okay. Yeah. So that comes out. We think June 21st.
I mean, I would say so, considering that it's been in the works for quite a while, and that's been. I think the last thing we got was a trailer early last year.
Yeah, in August at that Disney Plus.
Yeah, so you're looking at over 6 months for probably a mild amount of effects, I would assume.
Did you guys read this comic series?
I have not. I'm reading the new one, this new Secret Invasion, because it seems like Marvel always does a reboot or like has a new 5-issue limited series titled the same thing to like remind people.
Yeah, well, I think also that it's timing of like they know the show's gonna be out, and so they want a bunch of back issues on the stands as well as a trade coming out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if it's gonna. Well, we assume it's gonna follow the old one though, right? Of Secret Invasion and not the
yes,
new
but
one?
they still want a new Secret Invasion on the stand so that when somebody watches a show or whatever, then they go to the local comic store and they're like, "Oh, I'm liking this show, Secret Invasion." The dude behind the counter can be like, "Well, we just got in some brand new Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Here you go."
Yeah.
Because they don't know necessarily that they'll have back issues there, and they're not making money off the publisher's not making money off back issues, so they want to have fresh stuff that relates to current content.
Right.
But the original Secret Invasion was a really excellent crossover, and it was such a cool way that they spread it out into all the tie-ins because every team had a Skrull hiding in their midst for X number of years.
Yeah.
So it was a really great way to add some, dramatic revelations in every single title that Marvel was publishing.
Do you think they'll go as far as to, like, in this show, have a major character be a Skrull?
Which show?
Well,
Secret Invasion?
So, like, not like, obviously not Captain America, but, I don't know, a Bucky is a Skrull, or,
it's a great way to undo damage that you've done to a character and bring them back fresh and be like, "Oh, we broke Rhodey's spine. That's fine. It was just a Skrull the whole time. Here's the real Rhodey, and he's fine."
Can we do that with Gore the God Butcher?
Yeah, Gore. Maybe we'll do it with Hulk too.
Love and Thunder. Do you watch all the Marvel movies and keep up with the shows as much as you can?
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
Did you have thoughts on Love and Thunder?
It was fun.
Okay. Fun is a good word.
It was fun.
It was fun.
But the hard part about Marvel is that because we're into the comics and all that, we assume that every one based on a comic is made for us specifically, but it's not always the case. So, like,
of course,
for me, I was kind of disappointed in Moon Knight or Ms. Marvel, and it's like, that's fine. Maybe somebody else enjoyed it.
Sure.
But to get all upset about it not appealing incredibly to me is, not the best way to handle it, I guess.
That's the best way to put it. I wish everybody would handle it the way that Steve just described it.
Yeah, like
it's only come with a lot of soul searching to come to that.
Yeah, conclusion. a lot of inner soul searching.
I can't believe you didn't like Ms. Marvel. That show was great. No, actually, I quite enjoyed it. And She-Hulk. So, yeah, I don't know. It's like, again, reading Jason Aaron's Thor and Gorr the God Butcher again being a villain is one of my favorites. I was hoping for a bit more for Christian Bale. Just he's such a good actor. I felt like they kind of wasted him. While there's still some fun things I enjoyed about the movie, and I love Taika as a like Ragnarok was great. What We Do in the Shadows is fantastic, etc., etc. But
yeah.
But do you think are you laying the blame at Christian Bale's feet, or just that they didn't do enough in the script with the character? It really wouldn't be his fault.
Yeah, so I don't blame Christian Bale for that at all.
No,
I also read that they shot like 4 hours for that movie, and Christian Bale did a lot of weird things with that character, and whether it was Taika or Kevin Feige cut most of the weird stuff that he was doing with Gorr out of the movie.
They also told him to cool it, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at one point there was an interview and they were like, he was getting way too weird and they told him to fucking cool it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
but that's what you want.
Let him get weird. Like, oh man. Fuck.
No, yeah, I don't blame Christian Bale at all. I just wish they had given him, or at least we had seen all the things he was able to do, or gave him a more substantial role in
butchering.
Or at least like, if we're gonna use an actor of that caliber, to have him for more than one movie, I guess also is
Yeah, I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Like I'm glad they cast Josh Brolin as Thanos, because he's a great actor and they gave him a lot to do, and he's around for a while.
Theoretically, when they're casting a villain, don't you think they're always aiming for a great actor?
Sure. Oh yeah. I don't think they're looking for like, we just need a B actor for this. But
only in one movie, so we'll just we'll get a so-so actor.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just wish he'd been around longer, I guess. Oh well. Maybe he'll come back.
It was a scroll. Space scroll.
A space scroll. Well, they're all from space.
That's true.
Okay, so this week on Yousellcomics, a vendor posted Avengers #4. So if anyone's looking for the first Silver Age appearance of Captain America joins the Avengers.
Damn.
It's only $1,100.
No big deal.
From 1964. It's a good copy, fair to good. If you're grading.
Wow, the Submariner, friggin'
yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, so that went up this week on Yousellcomics.com. So I just thought I'd let people know that
that's a cool book.
If someone's looking for the first Silver Age appearance of Captain America, you can buy it on Yousellcomics. Okay, so I'm a collector of omnibuses. Steve, are you a collector of omnibuses as well?
I do like them. I do find them unwieldy to actually read, but I do have them.
Yeah, I keep buying them and I'm so far behind. I have like 40 on my shelf and I've read 6 of them because I at least read 10 or 15 comics a week because I like to keep up with each series coming out, and then I'm also stashing stuff to read as a collection later, and then I'm also have like usually a novel or non-fiction or fiction book going as well, and then an omnibus. So I'm trying to I'm reading Captain Britain right now, and volume 1.
That's a rough one, dude.
Oh,
that is a rough one.
It's
a dense read.
Yeah, so I have OCD about completing a book if I'm going to start it, but this one I have skipped stuff.
Oh, dude, that one, it's a rough read. I would not recommend reading that to any viewer out there. There's way better omnibus to choose from than
so don't Captain start Britain. There. Okay.
Wait. Is there a better Captain Britain omnibus? Because I want to go back and at the beginning, because I like the idea of Excalibur and Merlin and the magic and Elseworld, that I think it's called.
Just read Excalibur then.
Yeah.
If you want
If
you want fun Captain Britain stuff, do not read the omnibus and move over to Excalibur, because then at least you get the interaction between him, who's like stuffy, and like Rachel and Kurt. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot better.
The problem is, I love
Nightcrawler, so it definitely tickles my fancy that way.
The problem is, I listen to Near Mint Condition. Like, I follow him on YouTube, and he raved about how he loved that Captain Britain omnibus. I'm like, oh, I won.
He is wrong.
Yes, I am finding that out. I've read about 25 of the first issues, and then and it's black and white for almost half of it because it's so old. And then I couldn't, I just kind of flipped through the Black Knight storyline. I'm like, wow, that is a lot of reading. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to go to the color stuff and see if I at least get into that. The Spider-Man team up was fine. It was fun. But yeah, I have a hard time going back to it. I try and do at least 2 or 3 issues a week in that book, but Jesus.
Oh, man.
Anyways, Marvel cancels 2023 omnibus orders to be rescheduled for 2024. Marvel Comics has canceled the listings for Spider-Man by Joe Kelly, Star Wars Legends, The Empire Omnibus, Ultimate X-Men Omnibus Volume 2, X Factor by Peter David Omnibus Volume 3, while conversely Fantastic Four by Miller.
That's a shame.
The X Factor one?
X Factor, anything by Peter David is usually phenomenal, but his run on X Factor is really good.
I have his Hulk sitting on my shelf in an omnibus format that I haven't gotten to yet. Fantastic Four.
You should just throw your Captain Britain in the trash and grab that instead.
Well, maybe I'll so we have a con in 2 weeks, and it's a local con, so I don't mind hauling some omnibuses with me to the table to sell. So maybe I'll throw Captain Britain in there.
There you go.
Nice.
Fantastic Four by Miller and Hitch omnibus, collecting Fantastic Four 554 to 569. Annual 32 Fantastic Four.
That's also a garbage run. If we're going on, while we're talking about garbage omnibus,
is that Mark Miller? You don't like Mark Miller?
Yeah, he's really bad on FF.
Okay. And Marvel 1985 1 through 6 has been moved up from the 24th of May to the 25th of April. Here's when the rescheduled omnibuses are meant to come out. This was supposed to be August 8th. I'm pretty sure I ordered this one.
Which one?
But I guess it's not the Star Wars Legends of Empire Omnibus Volume 2, because I have Volume 1 sitting on my shelf. Ultimate X-Men Comics. That's a cool cover. Yeah, that one's, that's cool.
It is.
It was supposed to be July 25th, and these are the Peter David ones. Yeah, so those are delayed till 2024. Sammy says he's reading War of the Realms Omnibus. Yeah, I read that one. That one was really good. Although there was a weird, in the middle of it, there was a weird squirrel girl. That one issue that didn't really have anything to do with the War of the Realms, and I'm like, oh, this is a weird issue to throw in there.
If you're looking for FF omnibus that are good, the Hickman one is excellent.
You know what? I've read, and some people really don't like Hickman's run on X-Men. But from everything, but other people like praise his Avengers run. I've always heard good things about his Fantastic Four run. But a lot of people don't like the whole idea of Krakoa and him coming up with that. But I don't know. I've been reading it. It seems fine to me.
I haven't read the X-Men run yet, but he is usually a very good writer, so I am looking forward to it. His East of West is also really
good. I've read volume 1 of that. I have 2 sitting on my shelf waiting to be read, but yeah, East of West is really good. So Marvel is taking away omnibuses, but DC is adding omnibuses to the schedule. As if by magic, DC Comics has added a bunch of omnibuses to their 2023 schedule. Only a few of them are Batman books 2. They have also scheduled a few reprints as well. The Dead Boy Detectives omnibus is quite overdue with a certain TV series on the way. So we have Batman Adventures Omnibus coming out September 2023. Superman Silver Age Omnibus Volume 1. That collects Fans of Steel Omnibus. So Taste of 50s and 60s Superman. From Action Comics 241 to 265 and Superman 122 to 137.
Wow.
Wonder Woman Silver Age Omnibus Volume 2. That collects Wonder Woman 124 to 149. Batman Golden Age Omnibus Volume 10. That one's Batman 86 to 100 and Detective Comics 211 to 232. The Question Omnibus by Dennis O'Neil. Dead Boy Detectives Omnibus, which is Neil Gaiman, which is also going to Netflix, I think.
Oh, wow.
Batman and Robin Eternal Omnibus hardcover, which is by Tinian IV and Scott Snyder and Tim Seeley. As well as Super Sons, Spy vs. Spy, iZombie, Batman Golden Age, Volume 1 reprint, Batman Nightfall Omnibus, Volume 1 new edition, and Wonder Woman Omnibus new edition. So some reprints. Do you sell Omnis on your eBay page?
Occasionally.
Nice.
What I like to do with Omnibus is I like to buy them and hold on to them, and then post them for sale like 4 or 5 years later when they're out of print.
They're out of print. Yeah, I have seen some crazy. So I've been looking for good prices on Garth Ennis's run of Punisher, and those omnibuses are always super expensive.
Yep.
So they should probably reprint them so they get less expensive.
The Max ones, you mean?
Yeah.
I feel like Marvel kind of doesn't really bring their Max back to print very often.
That's sad for my wallet. I read a lot of Garth Ennis stuff. His World War II and World War II stuff I buy a lot of. He doesn't have a large run of that stuff, but it's usually like 5 or 6 issues and a little hardcover or whatever. He does a bunch of
Battlefield, you mean?
So there's a lot of pilot stuff he does with fighters. Oh, there was Sarah that came out, the reprint this year, the Russian snipers. Yeah, so there's I have a couple of those on my shelf.
He's got Battlefields from Dynamite, I think, and he's got Screaming Eagles from Aftershock,
Yes,
which
the
is
Screaming Eagles one is the one I have. Yep, I have one of those.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's got, I think, was it War Stories too? He's really into war stuff.
Yep. Well, he's always said he's hated superheroes, and that's why he wrote The Boys like that, because he doesn't like superheroes.
Apparent.
Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of it for this week, I guess. Did anyone see John Wick besides myself?
I haven't seen it yet.
Steve?
Nope.
Are you a John Wick fan?
I have seen none of them, actually.
Are you a Keanu Reeves fan? One of Canada's greatest exports?
I'm not like running to movie theaters to watch a Keanu Reeves movie.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. We're not hurt at all. Yeah. So John Wick 4 is really good. I can't see them not making a 5th one again because it made so much money this time, and it's rare for a sequel to be rated better than the first 3 movies.
Yeah, this was my question.
Yeah, especially for a 4th to do that well.
Yeah, a 4th edition. Okay,
very
so
rare.
A lot of people said in their reviews that it was the best of the 4. Do you agree?
Yeah. So we rewatched Parabellum before, and it's better than that one.
Okay, I would agree.
I remember John Wick, the first one, being like really, really good.
Yeah.
I don't remember the second one that much.
So,
actually, I did forget. We have one more thing. We're going to talk about series we're reading that are current series and/or things you're reading now that you're enjoying. Hold on one second. Where is it?
The precious information.
Okay. So 3 series I am enjoying right now is Traveling to Mars. It's on Ablaze.
Mark Russell?
Yeah, I'm not super, like, aside from like some of the writers that I know a lot, like Garth Ennis and or Hickman and etc. I'm not too well versed on all these other writers as I'm catching up to new stuff, but yeah, so I've really been enjoying this. The premise is this guy who has a terminal disease. It's in the future. All these companies are fighting over the first corporation to get to Mars to lay their flag and get all the resources. So they give him his family $10 million for him to go on a ship and be the first one to plant the flag for that corporation. And he's just him on a ship with two little robots running around. Yeah, so that it's not really funny. It's more introspective and, kind of him thinking back on his life and what he could have done better. And yeah, but that's been...
Mark Russell is a really good writer. So if you do see his name on some other stuff, you should give it a look. He's really good.
They have like a particular one that you like a lot that I should check out, or...
He wrote Second Coming, which is pretty good.
Second Coming, okay.
And that was also from Ahoy. He seems to be doing a lot of work with Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Although I think Traveling to Mars is Ablaze.
Yes, Traveling to Mars is Ablaze. Another one.
He's a good character writer.
Good character writer. Okay. Another one I'm enjoying is Know Your Station. It's had 4 issues so far. It's on Boom Studios. The premise is it's a space station. This woman is the security for the space station, although she has 0 experience in security. There's a lot of like really rich people on the station. She's supposed to know her place. There's kind of an AI that runs it that you're not sure if it's nefarious or not. And murders start taking place on the station. This one's funny and gory. It's not really horror, but it's funny and yeah. And we kind of talked about this last week when you were in the chat. Dead Romans, first issue.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot in it. Like, there's not a lot of dialogue in this. At least the first issue there wasn't. It was kind of like, here are the names of the characters. Here's a quick setup. So it's there are historical characters in it so far, like Varys and Arminius. There's a really good show on Netflix called Barbarians that also has this kind of same history timeline of Arminius and the Teutoburg Forest and the Roman army being defeated. So so far, as I said before, I'm really into Roman history and read all the books. But yeah, so the art was good. It's a good premise so far. I mean, it was going to hook me anyways, even if it sucks. It's Roman history. So
So you said you're into Roman history, right?
uh-huh.
Okay, so have you ever heard of a book called Rhombies?
Rhombies? Nope.
Rhombies.
Is that fiction or
I
nonfiction?
believe it is a combination of Roman history and zombie fiction.
Okay. Is this
Classic
is this a
Romby.
comic- Is this a comic book?
Yeah, comic
Oh,
book.
okay,
yeah.
okay. Romby. Okay.
There's only I only see one issue. It was published by Gestalt in 2010.
Well, like
wow.
it was like a trade or a one shot.
I'm sure it was. Wow, sorry, I'm not sure of anything.
Oh.
There's a number 0 published. Who knows if it was supposed to be more or not?
Oh, okay.
I just thought I'd mention it because it seems to be possibly up your alley.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm kind of a nerd about that. So I read there's an author called Adrian Goldsworthy who writes nonfiction about Roman emperors, and then he also started a fiction series on a soldier in Britannia and whatever.
That's cool.
50 AD. But yeah, so I've been reading all the Roman emperors book by book since just before Caesar, and then this nonfiction series when I sprinkle it in with other stuff. But yeah, I'm a nut for, I don't know why, but just am. Okay, so we'll be back next week Tuesday. Yes, Josh, Steve.
Yeah, that should be fine. Sorry, did we even get to what Steve was reading? Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I
thought he was reading
I'm working through Champions right now.
Champions.
Which is really fun. It spins out of Mark Waid's Avengers, and Mark Waid's a really good writer. In his Avengers run, they had the up-and-coming heroes that had joined Nova, the Sam version, Ms. Marvel, Kamala, and Miles Morales. And they're just kind of, well, mostly led by Ms. Marvel. They kind of split from the Avengers, and they want to do their own thing. They end up grabbing Totally Awesome Hulk and Vision, and it's kind of woke, and it kind of pushes woke stuff, but it's not like annoying about it. But it obviously speaks to the up and coming generation and what they're trying to accomplish, and to inspire some good acts in everybody.
Yeah,
it's really well written, and I just finished the Wade part, and now it's going to move over to Jim Zub. So I'm kind of curious to see if the quality will continue, or if he'll take it kind of in a different direction.
Yeah,
so
that is cool.
I think that starts in around 20 is where I'm at, 21-ish.
So is that the 2016 run or the 20? So there's.
So it was published in 3 different volumes. I'm still on volume 1.
Oh, okay. So the 2016.
But they just kept rebooting. Marvel knows the #1 sell, so they keep doing it over and over again.
What's the company
that goes 40 issues?
What's the company that does the Red? Is that Dynamite, Red Sonja, and Vampirella?
Yes, Dynamite.
They seem to think that #1 sell a lot, because I see a #1 like every week in the comic book shop of like Red Sonja #1 blah blah blah. Like it's it has a colon and then it's this, but it's a #1.
They run a lot of. I suspect that Red Sonja is probably their #1 character, that or Vampirella. So, but they run a lot of miniseries based on both of those characters.
Yeah.
So that's why you're always seeing a new #1, because I think they almost run maybe 4 or 5 different series that keep going. So when one's ending, another's starting.
Right.
So that continues to give them those #1s to get that selling point. And then they're not bashful about putting out variants. So they'll be like
there are
30
there are a lot of female-centric variant covers.
Yeah, so they'll typically do 4 art variants, and then the 5th will be a cosplay photo.
Yeah.
And then they'll do all different versions of that. They'll do a version of it. They'll do an ultraviolet colored version of it. They'll do a black and white version of all of those initial 4 covers. So there's just a glut of covers for all of those things. So that also might be why it looks like there's a lot of different #1s. It's just all the same #1, but with 17 different covers.
Do they?
That's crazy.
Do they have big numbers, or they just always sell well for that niche? So it's not a lot of people who buy it, but those people who do buy it always buy.
I don't know. I mean, they do pretty well, especially when you get a good cover artist like Perillo or Linsner. So that certainly helps. Right now they're also doing Elvira books, and Elvira usually does pretty well too. So
someone just put up an Elvira on
Yousellcomics
today or yesterday. We've had people ask before if they could put up nude comics on the site, and I've always kind of been on. It's fine, I guess. I don't really care. I guess I don't care. I don't know. I never really came up with a policy of, do you want to put nude comics on the site?
It probably should be covered.
Well, so I looked at other sites, what other sites do, and they have the one that you see right away has a star on wherever the nipples or the other areas, and the one or 2 vendors that asked me, I'm like, well, you could do it this way, like the other sites do, and then if you want to have the other picture, so you have to actually click on it and then go farther. I guess I don't care. I don't know.
Those Dynamite books don't even have that concern though, so that's a plus.
Okay.
Or at least the ones that the main ones. I guess maybe they have some specialty ones from other shops, but yeah, they don't have that.
Yeah, occasionally I see a polybagged version in my local comic shop. Okay, I don't know what's in that, but because it's all like blacked out, like when you were a kid in Canada in an Avondale store, the top shelf.
Oh yeah. Remember deeply.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining.
Is Josh reading something?
So I'm
The
currently
back of shampoo
actually.
bottles?
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. It's actually my second shampoo bottle. Thanks, Steve. I'm not currently reading anything, but I'm actually either gonna pick up in physical copy or I'm gonna get it digitally. The Blue Book #1 about the UFOs from the award-winning, best-selling author and co-creators of Killing the Children. That's on Dark Horse, I think.
Yeah. Second issue just came out last week. Well, since you're a UFO guy, where are you on the news that X-Files is getting rebooted?
Rebooted?
Oh yeah, you didn't hear that today? Chris Carter.
Oh my! Chris said it, not my boy Chris.
Wait. Do you know who's doing it? Ryan Coogler.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Oh man, Chris. You know what? I didn't think he'd come. I never thought he would redo it. I never thought. I never thought that.
They had a miniseries like 3 years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, but it was Duchovny and they were both back. Okay, well then the only way they're gonna do it is if it's in the same universe, and then like at the end of the series, obviously Scully and Mulder are gonna come in. It's gonna be okay.
He said it's not, and that Coogler's doing the whole thing with a diverse cast now.
Diverse?
Yeah.
2 white people in a basement wasn't diverse enough?
Yeah, I guess not.
One was male, one was female.
Yeah, one was red-haired, I guess.
Yeah, a red-haired female doctor.
Yeah.
At the FBI wasn't enough.
Yeah. Well,
that is cool. It's cool that they're redoing it. I didn't think Chris Carter would ever give the go ahead to have it.
He's probably looking for money.
He's probably hurting for money. Yeah.
He hasn't had a series in a while.
Yeah.
Steve, were you a fan of X-Files back in the day?
Nah, not my thing.
Okay, now that I've ruined Josh's night,
I really enjoy that.
No, it's okay. It's all right. It doesn't ruin my night. It's all right. It's good.
All right. Anyways, sorry. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you, and check out Yousellcomics.com if you're looking to buy or sell. We always have books going up every week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.